I'm going to tell you about one of the hardest days of my life, but also one of the most memorable. And through my story, we're going to learn about how to use narrative tenses. That's the tenses in English we use for telling stories. So, a long, long time ago, well, about 10 years ago, the sun was shining brightly, but it was freezing. The day before, we had crossed the border from China and had camped at well over 2,000 meters in the mountains of Kyrgyzstan. The plan was to reach the small town of Saritash, only about 30 kilometers away, but in between lay the biggest mountains I had ever cycled. So we ate a quick breakfast and started cycling, and almost immediately we started to climb. It was steep. Again, some of the steepest roads I'd ever ridden a bicycle. So we stopped to push and to rest frequently. And as we were cycling, dark clouds swept down the valley and it started to snow. I'm getting tired and cold just remembering it now. So let's talk about some of the language I've just used. The sun was shining. That's past continuous. So subject plus was or were plus verb ing. And we use the past continuous to set the scene in our story, to describe the longer things that were happening when our story started. So it was raining. The children were playing happily in the park. Then we ate a quick breakfast and started cycling. That's, of course, the past simple, which we use to describe the main events in the story. The story happened in the past, so of course we use the past tense. The day before, we had crossed the border with China. Had crossed is the past perfect. So that's subject plus had plus past participle. And we use the past perfect to talk about an event that happened before the events we are talking about. So we crossed the border, and that was the day before the main events. Another example, I realized I had forgotten my passport. So I forgot my passport before I arrived at the airport. Then finally, as we were cycling, it started to snow. Here, we combine the past continuous and past simple. And we use the past continuous to describe the longer action and the past simple to describe the short action that happened during the longer continuous action. So there you go. Those are the narrative tenses. Why don't you have a go in the comment and tell us a wee story? And I'll check and give you some feedback and correct any mistakes and if you made any. So, how do you think my story ended?